where are we at? Hey team, sorry, just setting up a couple of things. Now, as mentioned before, I did say that, hey, look, today I am just going to go through a few achieved questions. And these are not like in any kind of like, oh, this will definitely come and this will be definitely in the exam or anything like that. It is literally a few things that could possibly come, but you know, I don't ever know that. Scale factor, I think we talked about it yesterday, Richard. Rounding, I think rounding, you guys can round up to like a couple of decimal places, and I think you should be good to go with it. All right, so the first thing I'm gonna mention to you folks is this one here. As I said, we're gonna only work on achieved, but what is 91947? All right, so first thing I just want to have a quick look at is this right here. So when it comes to your guys' exam paper, you do get a formula sheet from what I can see, right? And then with the formula sheet, and I think this is where you possibly could get your first kind of like your achieved grade, if you want to call it. So any kind of measurement questions, all of the formulas are actually given to you there for you. So you don't actually have to remember any of these formulas. So for majority, like if you're looking for like a quick achieved question somewhere, then you probably want to be doing, you know, finding these measurement questions and actually looking for what is it that they're asking. Zara, 0% chance of me doing excellence today, because like I said to you guys yesterday, I will only be looking at like kind of like people trying to get to achieved. So yeah, and also, you know, like your circumference of your circle is given. All of those formulas for the measurement is given. Now, what I've seen them do is they tend to like to combine algebra with measurement. So because of that, they will have like these questions could come under like straightforward finding measurement, or they could actually have it like where they might say, actually let's actually do one, right? Like let's say I am gonna do circumference. I think I just found like circumference of a cylinder is not given here, not circumference, surface area of a cylinder is not given. Volume of the cylinder is actually given. All right, so let's just do a quick little question. Like for example, let's just see this. I'm trying to think of a question here on the spot. Probably a bad idea. Triangle one. So here is something they might give you guys a question, and like something that could look like this is where they say, you know, find area in terms of x or x squared, right? Or find an expression for the area in this case. So they might actually ask you to do something like that. And so all you're really doing is you're going to go back and look at your formula of your area of triangle. So that's half times base times height. So once you get that half times base times height, what you're going to have to do is just replace the x plus 2 as base, and then the height is 3x minus 1. So this is a straightforward achieved question. Hold on, guys. Give me a second, folks. I've just got somebody at the door. Sorry, team. Yeah, just some stranger playing hide and seek in front of our house, and that meant the dog went a bit crazy. Yeah. Yeah, it is definitely a schnauzer bark. We just had somebody out in the front playing hide and seek, which is fun. Anyway, look, let's go back to this. Find area. So we've got a half times base, which is x plus 2. And then the height is actually 3x minus 1. So if you do get a question like this, all you really have to do is just expand the brackets. So you do the two brackets like that. You can actually leave the half outside. And so what you're going to end up with is 3x squared minus x plus 6x minus 2. And then we just write this up as a half 3x squared plus 5x minus 2. Now, in some of these kind of questions, I don't know why, they really want you to make sure that you actually simplify this part here before they give you like that full achieved grade there. So you really want to get to that last line, and then you should be actually kind of good to go. And I keep seeing I keep seeing these questions where they ask you to find like expressions of something. Like sometimes they do perimeter as well. So they might give you like a triangle or even like a different shape. They might say find the perimeter for this shape, where this could be like, I don't know, x and x, and then this could be like like maybe 3x plus 1, and then this could be something like x squared minus 4x. So if you get a question like this, and then they ask you to find the perimeter, then all you're really doing is just add it up. Stenoi, no, you don't need to do it as 1.5 plus. You can do that. There's nothing wrong with it. And then just as long as you do that, like that little blue part, that's really, really important there. What do we got numbers up to? Oh my, 400, and it's still going up. Okay, that's a lot to deal with today. Hang on a minute, just need to adjust a couple of things. No, that's too much. I can't actually read the comments there. Sorry, team. So we're just going to look at the perimeter there. So with the perimeter, all you're really doing is adding the four sides. So you've got x squared minus 4x plus x plus 3x plus 1 plus x. And then you're just putting everything together where it's the, do the like terms first. So you got x squared and then minus 4x plus 4x. That's just going to become x squared plus x plus 1. Yep, so that is kind of like your basic algebra done with what do you call it, where they ask you to find an expression with area, or they ask you to do perimeter. All right, next one. No, we're definitely not doing merit or excellence today, people. If you want to do those, go back to my tutorials that I've set up before and just check out those ones, because I'm literally just looking at helping people that are doing achieved at the moment. I predicted 500. I've got 450 altogether right now across TikTok and YouTube. Yeah, I did tell you that, Isaac. Look at that. It's gone up to like 260 at the moment. All right, so next up, quick crash course, straight line equations. All right, we're going to do like a very quick crash course on just a couple of problems on straight line equations. So if you are, and I'm going to show you all three of them so that we can do parabola, we can do exponential, kind of the same time. All right. So straight line equations, what happens is something like this. I'm just going to start randomly. 1, 2, 3, 7, 9, 11. Here we're going to do 1, 2, 3. I need a table. Give me 1 second. I'm just going to, if you are waiting for me, you can try and get the equation for 3, 4, 5. Then here, maybe I'll go, I'll figure it out. Give me a second. Table. Nah. f of x getting a table, team. Give me 1 second. We're gonna do f of x1. So we're gonna do -4, -3, -2, All right. So here is another one where I'm gonna go. What should I do? What should I do? Okay, so that's going to be 1, 0, 3, actually not even 3, 4. Let's actually do this. 1, 0, 2, -3, 3, -4, 4, -3, and 5, 0. All right, and then what we're also going to do is I'll do a quick exponential one just to show you how the graph actually looks like. Well, not the graph, but more like +2. No, let's go +3. Yeah, this is good. 1, 1, 2, 3, 3, 7, 4, 15. Okay, so if you get these 3 tables and you're like, I'm just looking at these tables and I got no idea what these things do, and they ask you, you know, you got to come up with the equation for this. All right. So what you kind of need to do is like remember this always. All right. What you have to do is try and figure out which one is actually linear, which one is quadratic, which one is exponential. Remember, you've got 3 different types of graphs that you can do. To find what if something is linear, like you just look at the difference between these numbers on the y-axis. So if you look at it, this is +2, this is +2, this is +2. Now if you look at it in this side here, you're actually getting -3, then you're getting -1, and then you kind of like ending up with that same pattern again. It's like it's going +1, and then you're going +3. So you can kind of see the red numbers like all over the place. They kind of like there's actually no pattern there, but theoretically there is a pattern because it's going to go +1, +3, and then it's going to go +5, and then it's going to keep going like that. But if you look at the question number 5, you've got +2, you've got +4, and you've got +8. All right, now I know I'm doing all 3 of them at the same time, because the reason I'm doing all 3 of them at the same time is because I want to show you guys the patterns. If these numbers here are the same, then this becomes a linear graph. All right, so that means this is a linear graph. And what you're going to get is y is equal to mx plus c. Pufferfish, thank you so much. You don't have to, but that's really appreciated. But what you need to know is the +2 that you found, that is what this little m is going to be. So you can rewrite this as y is equal to 2x plus c. Now, if you want to figure out what the c value is, the easiest way to do is look at your table and go all the way back to 0. So for example, at the moment you've got 4, 3, 2, 1, and we're going to go to 0. And if I look at the y values, if I follow the pattern, because I'm going 13 minus 2 is 11, 11 minus 2 is 9, 9 minus 2 is 7, 7 minus 2 should be 5. So this equation would become 2x plus 5. Now that's one of the easiest way to do it from a table. If you, for any reason, you actually decide, actually, we're not going to go to a table. All right, that's a lot of... Give me 1 second, team. This happens every single time. Level 1's getting a little bit too excited because we've got like a whole bunch of chats that's just happening. All right, so where are we up to? I kind of missed it as I was too busy just looking at the chat going a little bit crazy. All right, so yes, I'm going to do both methods there, so don't stress too much, people. Just trying to figure out how to slow some things down here, that's all. Now, looking at the number 5 question there, now we've actually got 2, 4, and 3. So because we've actually got 2, 4, and 3, what ends up happening is, hang on, let me just grab this quickly. So you're looking at these values. The second, like the first difference is actually getting multiplied by 2. Because it's actually getting multiplied by 2. So the 2 is getting multiplied by 2 to get to 4. And then 4 times 2 is 8. That means this equation here is actually an exponential one. And what it's going to look like is it's going to look like y is equal to, we usually write this as ARX, but in this case, we know what the ratio it's getting multiplied by. So it's going to be a to the power a times 2x plus c. All right, we just have to write it like that, unfortunately. Like that's just something that we need to work with. Now, in saying that, our next step is going to be, what are we going to go? Yes, I did see. Thank you for all the gifts and stuff. Chop and Stenoid, thank you. But let's just focus on this, all right? Because I keep getting distracted by your bright blue donations, which appreciate it, but it's okay. Don't stress. So that's the exponential part. Now, the quadratic one, if you have a graphics calculator, it is super, super fast because all you're going to do is go into your stat mode for quadratic, and you're going to punch in whatever values you can actually get for the quadratic. In this case, I've given you 5 values. And the reason I know it's quadratic is because what's happening to these numbers here, they're all increasing by 2 every single time. Like if you think about it, the difference between -3 and -1 is +2. -1 and +1 is +2. +2 and +2. And because of that, that's how I know this is a quadratic. A quadratic is like when that second difference is the same, then it becomes a quadratic. Yes, you allowed that, Zoe. Yeah, and that's the second difference there. So you can straight away go, well, I know that this is going to be quadratic here. So you could actually write it as y is ax squared plus bx plus c. And then your a value is the second difference divided by 2. So that's going to be just 1. So it's x squared plus bx plus c. Now what I'm going to do is I'm just going to put that there. That's where the 2 comes from. And you've actually got to divide it by 2. Now all of these, and I'm trying to teach you guys kind of like multiple skills here, so that you could actually get the idea behind it. Now, I know one of the things people have asked me is that, hey, look, what if you don't? Yeah, we're going to get through that fishing. We're going to get through what if you don't actually have a calculator part, and that's what we're going to do right now. So you can actually, you've got to use simultaneous equations to solve any of these things, all right? Especially the quadratic or the exponential. You're going to use simultaneous equations. And again, that's a skill that's needed for your algebra part of it. So it's a handy skill to have. If you have the calculator, yes, it becomes very, very easy. But at the same time, it's like, you know, it's always good to have these kind of like little skills that's actually worth. None of these formulas come in the, just having a look. No, none of these formulas actually come in the exam. So whatever's in the pink box here, these kind of general formulas, you do need to remember them, and we'll actually go through each of them. All right, so I'm going to go through the quadratic first. So the quadratic, I've got y is equal to 2x, sorry, not 2x squared, x squared plus bx plus c. Now, there is a shortcut here with the c value for what do we call it, for that little table that we have here, because all we need to know is what is the value of y when the x is equal to 0. So I'm just going to rewrite this a little bit differently. Just bear with me. I'm going to put like x there and y there, and I'm going to put a 0 there. Now, if I was to follow this particular pattern, remember quadratic are actually symmetrical. So if I go one more step to 6, this value is going to be 5. And because 6's value is 5, if I kind of reflect it, I know at 0, it's also going to be a 5. And because it's a 5, I can straight away say c is equal to 5. So remember, whenever, and this is the same for all three graphs, if you have x equals to 0, and if you have a y, whatever the y value you have it, that becomes your c value except for exponential. It's a little bit more trickier with exponential. But for the linear and quadratic, it kind of works always like that. Yes, Isaac. So when x equals to 0, it'll always be the c value for linear and quadratic. Not for the exponential one. The exponential one is it's an annoying one. So that's a separate one. We'll come back to it. Now we've figured out what c is. So our equation is y is equal to x squared plus bx plus 5. Now at this point, all you have to do is just take any one of these values from here, substitute it into this equation, and you should be able to find the b value. Now I'm going to be super lazy, and I'm going to use 1, 0, because that's the easiest one to kind of work around. So when I use the value 1, 0, my y value is 0, x squared is 1 squared plus b times 1 plus 5. So I've got 0 is equal to b plus 6. So b is equal to minus 6. So my equation for the quadratic is x squared minus 6x plus 5. Now this is for people that do not have a calculator, the graphics calculator. If you do have the graphics calculator, then you just go into the stat mode and you need to put in a few numbers there. So, and you can put all of them if you want to. So you could actually go 1, 2, where am I typing? I don't even know where I'm typing. Where's my calculator at? Okay, here we go. I'm going to type that in. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, just for the, and then 1 was 0, minus 3, minus 4, minus 3, 0. And then I click on graph 1, calc, and then I go into x squared, which is f4. And as you can see, that's going to give me my quadratic equation, which is x squared. So that a value is 1, b value is minus 6, and c value is 5. Okay, so yeah, it's a lot of things to kind of like go through there. Now for the last one, is the second difference always divided by 2 to get a? Yes, I see it is always divided by 2. After you enter the values in the calculator, you want to click on graph, is it? Hang on. Yep, graph. And then graph 1. And then calc. And then x squared. Now you can do the same process for a straight line. You can do the same thing for straight line. Just instead of for straight line, you wouldn't press the x squared. You would press the x. That would actually give for straight line. That gives for a quadratic. Now for the exponential one. I'm going to go back to that question. We've got y equals a2x plus c. Take two values. All right. So we're going to take 1, 1, and we're going to take 2, 3. If I take 1, 1, I'm going to get 1 is equal to a times 2 to the power of 1 plus c. So I'm going to get 1 equals 2a plus c. That's my one equation. My second equation is going to be 3 equals a times 2 to the power of 2 plus c. So then I'm going to get 3 is equal to 4a plus c. Now notice how I got two simultaneous equations. Once again, you can put this in the calculator to do the simultaneous equations in the calculator. But with exponentials, it's actually pretty easy, because all you do is you just stack the two equations on top of each other. So you're going to write 4a plus c equals to 3. 2a plus c equals to 1. And what you do is, here's the real quick hack to figure out the a and c values. Just subtract. When you do that, you're going to get 4a minus 2a is equal to 2a. C minus c is 0. 3 minus 1 is 2. Therefore, a is equal to 1. And if a equals to 1, because we got 1 equals to 2a plus c, 1 equals to 2 times 1 plus c, you're going to get 1 equals to 2 plus c, and c is equal to minus 1. So the equation for the exponential would be y is equal to 2 to the power of x minus 1. So if you want to do simultaneous equations on the calculator, what you do is you go to menu, go to simultaneous equations. So that's a good way to remember equations. Click on that and you're going to see simultaneous, which is F1. So click on F1. Number of unknowns is we have 2 unknowns. And notice how I actually use this part here. I'm going to use this part, which is I'm going to put this in the orange box. The orange box is what I'm going to put in the calculator. So I'm actually going to type 4, 1, and 3. Then I'm going to type in 2, 1, and 1. When I do this, as you can see, it says x and y. That's because this is my x value and y is the second value. So in other words, a equals to 1, c is equal to negative 1. Not on the Jestek calculator, mate. Sorry. Tiana, yes, you can. Plus 6 in the middle question. Because I got the plus 6 from here. So 1 plus the 5 equals plus 6. So here's a really quick little hack for you. Like, not a hack, it's just some things I tell people to do. Is if you do forget, if you're the type of person that actually forgets the formulas, one thing I would say to you is write write the 3 formulas before you go to bed. When you wake up, try and remember it. If you can't, write the 3 formulas again. Then do the same thing when you arrive at the exam. Just write it down, because it's just like you just need it for that, literally at the start of the exam where you can write all this information that you can remember. Again, this is for the last minute stuff, people. Like, if you are doing last minute, that's the survival of it, right? Like, that's how you survive. All right, now what I'm going to do is, I know I kind of like went over this all over the place. So I'm just going to put a bunch of line numbers for each different questions. So if people do have any questions, they could kind of ask, and I'll try my best to kind of answer. Just yell out the line number and then we can actually go from there. I think we talked about it at the beginning. How do you recognize it's an exponential? You have to look at these values to kind of figure out what's happening there. So you might need to jump onto YouTube, because I kind of did that at the start there. 2, 5, and 14, those are just your, so straight line equation is y equals to mx plus c. Quadratic is ax squared plus bx plus c. And arx plus c for the exponential. Sorry, that's what I should have done in the pink box. I kind of messed up. So those three formulas are the ones that you kind of need to remember mainly. Felicia, R is the ratio. So like, what color am I using, or haven't I used? Pink. Yeah, red. Oh, no, I can't use red for this. So see this, that ratio there is what is going to be here. That's the ratio. Folks, if you do need any kind of extra help with these kind of topics and you feel like you kind of stuck with it and you're like, oh, I need more help with parabolas, if you go back to my live streams, 9th of September, I go through parabolas. 4th of September, I go through exponential curves. So that's the place for you to go to get a bit of practice with those types of questions. All right, next lot of questions that we're going to do. It's quite handy is, what do we want to do next? So line 29, that's the exponential equation right there. I don't know who asked me. I kind of missed that. Okay, so those people that are on TikTok, how do you access the live streams? If you do want to catch up with all the live stream tutorials, they are on YouTube. So just jump on YouTube and just go to my channel, and right there in NCA Level 1 Exams and Revision, you're going to find all of my tutorials that are there and the practice questions there. All right, so yeah, I know if you... like saying you're cooked right now is not going to help you. If you do want to move away from the cooked phase, then I would say go do some revision. That's what I would say. Ain't going to help you, man, saying that. Better do something about that. Well, Olivia, it's just another way of writing it. You could do ABX as well. That also works, because all you're then saying is like y is equal to AB to the power of x. The only reason I actually use the R is because it's the ratio in which those numbers are actually increasing. Sour mustard, nothing changes, eh? Even after this long. On the night before exam, I'd have about 600 people going, what do I do? That's what happened 8 years ago, and that's what's happening. Past year exams are a good idea, guys. Like, you know, just kind of keeping up with the time. All right, now one more thing, because I'm coming down to the time here. I'm keeping an eye on it. Very basic. You don't like. I was like, oh my God, you need to remember. Do you need to remember SOHCAHTOA? You actually don't need to remember SOHCAHTOA, because I cannot believe like they actually give you the full formula and actually tell you what the hypotenuse is, what the opposite is, what the adjacent is. So I don't think you guys should not be like, if you see like a basic trigonometry question, like you should get an achieved from there, like, because the formula gives you everything that you need to know. Like, right? Yeah, this is the formula sheet you guys would get. This is from 2024, the formula sheet. I am sure that this is the one that you're going to be getting this year as well, which means you're going to get all of these formulas, especially for trig. You're going to get these formulas. So if you ever get a trig question, you should be getting straightforward, easy, achieved with those things. Like, look at this. They actually even do this part, which I was so surprised about. They actually tell you if you want to find the opposite or adjacent, these are the formulas that you have to use. The only thing you need to know by yourself is like inverse of when you try to find the angle. Liv, we don't talk about 1.3. I don't talk about 1.3. Hashi, if there are two... Okay, look. Okay, give you a good example, all right? Like, I mean, if you do get a question like this, and you've got x, right angle is there, and then they give you like something like, I don't know, 8 and 3, for example, and you have to find x. If that's the case, like, you just need to... Oh, sorry, I didn't realize you can't see the question. You just need to match the sides, all right? If you ever forget, like I always say, like, try and put the... Like, some people say label all the sides. I don't like that idea because it's like it can get confusing. What I like to do is whatever angle that I'm working with, so this is the angle I'm working with, I always draw an arrow like this to the opposite side, because then I know that this is the opposite. This side, the 8, is always going to be the hypotenuse, and H and O, I go back and have a look at my formula sheet. I'm looking for hypotenuse and opposite, so that's going to be the sine rule. All right. So once you match that rule up, then it's just a matter of substituting and actually solving it. The reason, Liv, is that when I tried to do a practice paper for it, I went to an NZQA website and had a look at it, and I was like, I didn't know what they were asking because everything was grayed out. And I think that was like a year ago, and it's still like that. I was like, nah, I'm not actually going to do this. Okay, we're going to solve this real quickly. So we've got sine x is equal to opposite over hypotenuse. Sine x is equal to 3 over 8. Then x is equal to inverse sine of 3 over 8. Now, the tip here is this. Your exam, when you walk into the exam, one of the things they will ask you to do is they will ask you to reset your calculator. So you got to go to system and you got to do a reset. All right. So when you do reset, there might be F1 or F2. I can't remember. I think it might be F1. And then what happens is when you go back to your main menu, and I just want to try this first. I could be wrong here. Yeah. What happens is that when you do the reset of your calculator mode is going to be reset to radians. So it's really important that you need to put this to degrees, because otherwise you're going to end up with the wrong answer for these types of questions. So we're going to change that to degrees, and then we're going to go shift sine 3 over 8. There we go. That's a lot better. So x is equal to 22.02 degrees. All right. So any Pythagoras and trig questions, you've got to be able to do it. Now, nth term, that's usually like, yeah, it's possible there. Like I can't really say yes or no. What if you have other calculators? It doesn't matter. I think if you have other the graphics calculator, they'll ask you to reset. But the main calculator, like your normal calculator, they will actually keep it, what do you call it? It'll be in degrees. If you want to access my OneNote, the links are all on my YouTube live stream. Unfortunately, I can't chuck anything up on TikTok, so it's a bit annoying. Nah, LeBron, like, look, like I was planning to do videos for that, but I think it's like, it's just a lot to do right now, man, with everybody wanting to do different things. All right. What else could they potentially ask for achieved? Let me just have a quick look at my notes. The problem is, like, you guys are going to get like a lot of questions that would be mixed, right? So that's the big thing. So where is this one here? OneNote. I'm trying to see what the achieved questions were like the last time. Yeah, see, I mean, like this question they ask, like they give you the perimeter and then they ask you to find what x is. So got to show some sort of thing, and this one was a bit annoying. I do feel like they would ask you a measurement question where like with something inside of something for merit or excellence. So again, just be comfortable using the formula sheet to get the formulas and actually kind of like work that through. Like, see, sometimes if you're lucky, you get like these types of questions where for solving an angle that we just did, you know how we did this question here, which was an achieved question, but they'll have like one extra step, and that means one extra step means you're going to get a merit. So yeah, keep your chin up, team. Like, there's lots of things that you can potentially do. Anyway, all right, so intersection point. All right, like sometimes you do get that question where they do this thing like, oh, what's when two things. Now the intersection point, that's just simultaneous equations. So if they give you something like, you know, this graph is this one here, and then they give you another graph which is like negative 2x plus 5 or whatever, they ask you what's the intersection point, then all you really need to do in this case is just like put the two equations equal to each other, solve for x and solve for y, and then you're good to go. Bearings could be, if you are like with bearings and exponentials, I did that yesterday, so have a look at that tutorial yesterday that I did for bearings and inequalities. If you're really worried about bearings, I think I covered that in yesterday's one, which in like 20 minutes we do one question. A lot of people that were on the live yesterday, they said that they found that quite handy, so that is also available for you guys there. The Hashi, when they're asking like the nth term, all they're asking for is the formula of the graph. So, you know, like if I tell you like these things here, these three equations, if they give you a table like this and they ask you for an nth term, all they're doing is you just got to figure out whether it's linear, quadratic, or exponential, and then instead of x, you would just write that as n. Crash Bash, watch yesterday's tutorial. After that, you'll be like super happy with the fact that if you get bearings in the exam. All right, team. I think the graphs question I just did, all of those equations that I came up with, like this particular part that I showed you guys how to do it, that can be applied for graphs as well. So that's why I kind of did the algebra part and the graphs part together. Yeah, see, the people that were here yesterday, they would tell you like they find bearings easy because I think it was after that tutorial, like little tutorial that we did, people feeling quite confident about it. All right. Anyway, team, look, it's 8:45 and I know I covered like few things. Thing that I want to say to you is that tomorrow, kind of like don't leave like any questions empty. Try and answer as much of it as you can, and sometimes, like, you know, and don't leave any excellence questions empty as well, because you'd be surprised at what you can actually end up getting achieved for in an excellence question. So hang on. So doing just like a little bit of the excellence question, you could potentially be looking at achieved for it as well. So yeah, don't ever forget that. Don't leave anything empty is what I always try and say. Okay, so no. If you want to watch anything or everything, go to YouTube. All of the videos are still there. You still got time. When was the bearings stream? That was yesterday. So go and check it out. Also, I think this is my last live of the year. So those of you guys, good luck for your exams tomorrow. I will probably have a little chat with you tomorrow night just to see how the exams went. But I'm looking forward to working with you people in level 2. So yeah, no, that's me, guys. Look, I've got to actually end for the year, and that's my 7 days of streaming coming to an end. I think I might do some gaming streaming from tomorrow onwards, just because I've never actually done that. Now I'll be here tomorrow just to see what the paper looks like. Quite curious. Shashi Hashana, make sure you let your teacher know that. That's quite cool to see that. Definitely let them know that. I think they would appreciate it. Of course I'm a teacher, man. I teach full-time at Ormiston Junior College. So covert cops, not from South Africa, but, you know, from India, but yeah. Staccato, as I showed at the start of the stream, you get pretty much all the formulas except that parabola, straight line, and exponential one. No, tractor pig, I don't help with science. What, just for tomorrow on, from tomorrow onwards, I would actually change it to no, I was actually thinking, like, tomorrow I'm gonna jump on and say, you guys pick a game, I'm gonna play it just to see what it's like, because you guys talk about different games and I got no idea what is it, and I'm like, I need to play a different game just to kind of get the hang of it. But yeah, look, good luck for your exam. I will see you guys tomorrow. We'll have a debrief, which I'm sure the calculus guys still wants to get a debrief. They'll be kind of upset. Beaver, he's a legend, by the way. He's an amazing fellow that makes some resources, Mr. Snedden. So you see him tomorrow, say hi to him from me. Yeah, what's up, Shavir? Mate, you asked some really good questions in calculus, and I think I was hoping that, you know, you'd get that, especially during the excellence part. You were asking a lot of good questions. So yeah, I do remember. Nah, no worries. All right, team. Take care. TikTok, take care. YouTube, take care. Thank you for the year. I cannot believe you guys got me to the most weirdest number of subscribers ever. I am gonna be like, and you know, it's one of those subscriber numbers where it's not gonna change for the next like 6 months. So I'm stuck on this random number, and hopefully I can get to 70K, but I don't think I will. So I'm gonna be stuck on 69K subscribers. Yeah. The worst number to be stuck on. No, I don't want that lethal plays. I was like, of all numbers to be getting stuck on, it's like, why that number? Oh, true. Actually, no, it's gone up. It's gone to 69.2. 3 merit questions, Lash Hedgehog. That's all you knew. Eshan, I'm done for the night, mate. I'm done for the night. If somebody finds the paper, then if I find it on Reddit, we can actually have a talk through that. But same time next year, yeah. But except we'll probably start in August again to start doing the level 2 revision, and then we'll work through it. All right, TikTok, thank you so much. We will see you later. Get a good night's rest and good luck for tomorrow's exam. And I'll catch you guys tomorrow when I do the gaming stream. Should be fun, or just the catch-up stream. All right. Thank you for watching TikTok. See you later. All right, YouTube, been fun. I was hoping you guys would get me to 70, but it looks like I'm going to be stuck on that stupid number for a while. But till tomorrow, have a good one, and I will. Good luck for the exam. Don't leave anything empty. And as always, thank you for watching, guys. Catch you later.